Welcome to Kingdom Footsteps, and today we're listening to Nancy Cohen as she talks about the Great Reset and how God has pressed the reset button. And we think the Great Reset is about COVID and inflation and world order and all kinds of things like that. But Nancy says that the Lord is right now busy with a great reset, and He's taking us out of an old religious system that's dead, and He's bringing us into a living relationship with Him, where the sons of God goes into heaven, comes back, manifests heaven on this earth, goes back into heaven, get new ideas, gets new blueprints, and manifest all of that. And so the Lord is just changing everything, and that's really what I like to call the Saints movement that's happening right now. And so I want to invite you, let's walk down this river and we listen to Nancy, and we just expand our spirit a little bit to get some of that great reset from God into our spirit. Enjoy it with me.
I think we're living in the greatest hour ever in the history of humanity.
Yes.
And to me, there has never been another time like this time, as we're shifting into the age of the kingdom. It's changing and rearranging and shaking everything that can be shaken, so that we can bring our mindsets into perfect agreement in ourselves, our whole selves, body, soul, and spirit, into perfect alignment with His divine design, so that we can function the way that He created us to be able to function. And that function includes governing over everything that has ever been created. Probably the majority of what I'm going to focus on for the conference is going to be developing union with the divine nature, because everything that we're going to accomplish in this coming age is going to evolve and downflow from the measure of the union that we have with Him. There are things that are shaking right now in the earth, and anybody would have to be a fool not to recognize that everything in the earth is shifting. Yes. And in fact, when this whole COVID thing came up, I went to the Lord and I said, Lord, what is all of this about? And He just laughed. He always laughs at me like I'm some kind of little cute little kid trying to figure things out. But He said, His word to me was, this is not about the coronavirus. This is about a global reset. And basically what's happening at the current moment is every system upon which humanity has depended for their survival is now being shaken. And so one of the things that I've been focusing on in the last 6 to 8 months is developing global strategy groups who are composed of experts in every field of government, economy, education, agriculture, technology, entertainment, religion, social services. Every single system that we have been depending upon is shifting, and it's changing, and it's not ever going to be the same. So after all of this has taken place, the focus, I think, for the present moment is, what is this going to look like when everything's settled out? Yeah. And so I'll probably have a little bit of input in regard to what the think tanks that are all coming together at the present moment are coming up with in terms of their ascension, because Jesus is our pattern. And if we're going to follow in His pattern, one of the purposes of Global Ascension Network is that we follow His pattern when He says, I of my own self can do nothing, only that which I see my Father doing. So all of the global strategy groups and all of the global ascension groups are investing themselves and ascending into the heavenly realms to see what the Father's doing, and then coming back and actually decreeing and declaring the things that we see Him doing. Not what we want, not what we, because our mentalities are generally focused on maintaining our comfort zone, and that's not what all of this is about. Obviously, everybody's being taken out of their comfort zones. So in terms of global ascension or all of the global strategy groups, our intentionality is go see what the Father is doing, and then come back and decree and declare the thing that we see Him doing, And we can actually historically prove now that through these groups, we're actually decreeing and declaring things that are manifesting in the earthly realm. And the greater the measure of rule that we gain in that, the quicker they are manifesting. And so I'll just give you one example. In our government group, one of the things that we saw was the chief warring angel over the United States, whose name is Union, had his foot on the left side and his other foot on the right side in terms of along the shorelines. And he handed to us something called the Book of Unity. Mm-hmm. Now, we didn't tell anybody about that, but in the next 2 weeks, every single Ascension group, I think except 2, actually reported to us that they had been given something called the Book of Unity. And of course, unity in the age of the church meant 100 pastors getting together and praying the same thing at the same place at the same time. And they thought that was unity. But true unity, and the one that commands the blessing to the earth, is the agreement between the invisible realm and the visible realm. So when the governmental group saw the Book of Unity commended into our hands, without anybody knowing about that at all, within the next 2 weeks, almost every Ascension group received something called the Book of Unity.
Wow.
So what the Lord, he's ratifying and letting us know that the things that we're doing are really happening. And of course, in many of our Ascension groups at the present moment, the primary focus has been on unity with the invisible realm, with the visible realm. And that's one of the things that I think Chris is so excellent at communicating, is how do we bring ourselves into unity with the invisible realm? Because until we understand the operation of the angelic and how they're working together with us, the great cloud of witnesses, and how they are working with us at this present moment. And in fact, both sets are extremely excited that we're finally waking up and coming into agreement with them and feeling the authority to commission them to actually manifest in the earthly realm. So it's a very, very exciting day. And I am so thankful to Marilyn Zander for bringing about this conference. Her ministry, MMI, has been a part of my life for 20 years. And actually, at the time when I got the left boot of fellowship from the majority of people in the church as we were leaving that age and entering the age of the kingdom, she was one of the very, very few people in the United States that I would agree to do a kingdom meeting with, because she already had that mindset. And it cost her a lot to do that, because she lost a lot of her old friends because of her relationship with me. So I'm just very, very thankful to Marilyn, and she has consistently provided a venue for groundbreaking technology. And in fact, the very first time I released The Sound of Heaven was at Marilyn's conference. And at that time, it was extremely violent, because we were trying to break out of the heavenly realms every resistance, all doubt, all unbelief, all of the things that ushered in a breakthrough, not only for the people at the conference, but a breakthrough for multitudes of people around the world. So I'm very thankful to Marilyn for all of her contributions, which have extended around the world now. So yeah, that's good.
This was really a good message by Nancy. And I want to tell you, with the Lord busy with this great reset that he's doing right now, he's changing not only our hearts and our circumstances, but he's also changing the way we think about life. So I hope you enjoyed this Kingdom Footsteps with me. My poor camera person, I'm dragging her here through all the rocks, but at least she grows a little bit. And always, I want to encourage you, every morning, go into the heavenlies and see what the Lord is showing you and hear what he is speaking to you, and then start to confess what he says and start to do what He tells you to do. Because when you start to declare what God says, and when you start being obedient to what He shows you, you're going to see how heaven is going to manifest onto this earth in this day and age. The Lord loves you so very much, and He wants to use you as a son of God. Remember, it's not that fancy person that's far away that is going to be used with by the Lord. It's going to be you, because each one of us are part of the royal priesthood of God, and He's raising us as kings, as lords, as priests, and as stewards on this earth. And so God loves you very, very much. Thank you for joining me on His Kingdom Footsteps, and I'll see you in the next session. God bless you.